Well, a doctor from Johns Hopkins is accused of making racist statements about Palestinians on social media.
Yeah, a Muslim advocacy group is now calling for his license to be revoked. WMAR 2 News' Elizabeth Worthington breaks down the controversy.
A Johns Hopkins doctor has been accused of making racist statements about Palestinians on social media. Now, a Muslim advocacy group is calling for his license to be revoked.
When you are entrusted with the livelihood of patient populations, then you have a responsibility to demonstrate that you can take care of those individuals in an impartial, objective way.
Zainab Chaudhry is the Maryland director for the Council on American Islamic Relations, also known as CAIR. She says her office has been flooded with messages from concerned neighbors, patients, and even staff at Johns Hopkins after seeing these tweets posted to Dr. Darren Klugman's account. Dr. Klugman is the director of pediatric cardiac critical care at Hopkins. The tweets refer to Palestinians as, quote, bloodthirsty, morally depraved animals. And in response to a user saying Israeli policymakers are calling quite literally for a large-scale slaughter, he responds, God willing. Chaudhry says after the tweets started making the rounds on social media, she's heard from families who have decided to move their children to a different hospital.
One particular family specifically said that they did not feel comfortable. They were not Palestinian American. They were Muslim American. They were visibly Muslim. The mother wears a headscarf. And she said that she felt very vulnerable. She didn't feel that she could trust this institution to take care of her child.
We asked the regional director of the American Jewish Committee, Alan Ronkin, for his take. He says there's no need to engage in that kind of inflammatory rhetoric, no matter which side it comes from. He says it's possible to condemn Hamas without condemning all Palestinian civilians, too.
To paint everybody in one broad brush, I think is inappropriate and ultimately not helpful. I don't think Hamas is interested in any sort of a solution that doesn't involve the eradication of Jews. But that doesn't mean that, every Palestinian feels that way.
CAIR has filed a formal complaint against Dr. Klugman with the Maryland Board of Physicians, calling for his license to be revoked. CAIR was also forwarded this email by a Hopkins staff member. It's an apology from Dr. Klugman to his colleagues. He calls the tweets regrettable and hurtful and says they in no way reflect his beliefs, and he's devastated by the impact this has had on his Hopkins family. We did reach out to Johns Hopkins, and we are waiting to hear back. In Baltimore, Elizabeth Worthington, WMAR 2 News.